The food legislation around vitamins and minerals claims can feel overwhelming. If you mess up your calculations, not only you are misleading your consumers, but you will have legal problems. Welcome to another episode of the Food Lab podcast. I'm your host Manon Galizzi, and today we are continuing our series about nutrition and health claim, and showing you exactly the step to follow to get your vitamins and minerals claims right every time. Are you a food or drink business owner struggling with negative reviews, decreasing sales, or the overwhelming task of product development? Join me as we dive into the science of crafting exceptional products. With a decade of industry experience, including a deep dive into the world of flavors, I will help you perfect your flavor profile, streamline your product development, and unlock the path to retailer listing and exciting customer reviews. Stop wasting time and resources and start creating amazing products that are good for the people and the planet. If you enjoy the podcast and would like to hear more from me, don't forget to follow the podcast and leave a positive review. Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well. If you're new to the nutritional and health claim, I definitely recommend you to listen to the previous episode first, where I explain in more details what is a nutrition claim, what is a health claim, and where to get the right information to support your claims. The first thing to double check if your product is considered as a fortified food. So if you use vitamins and minerals to improve the nutritional values of your product, if you use them to address common deficiencies or to compensate for a loss during the processes, then your product is considered as a fortified food, which is very different from the mandatory fortification that you can find on certain foods. So for example, flour and margarine, very different from any specific group of food such as infant formula or medical food, and again very different from food supplements. So also, if you use vitamins and minerals for other reasons than fortification, so if you use them for homogeneity, stability, preservation, they will be classified as additive. So for example, I use potassium citrate as an acidity regulator for one of my clients' products, and because I use it as an additive, they will be declared in the ingredient list as acidity regulator or use their E number. So all of this follow their own legislation and they are very different from the fortified food legislation. Okay, just to make that clear before we start, before I have questions around, but what about food supplement? They follow their own legislations. Today we are focusing on fortified food. So again, vitamins and minerals you add to your product, especially to improve the nutritional value, again, address common deficiencies and things like that. The first thing to do is to check which vitamins and minerals can be added to your product. If you sell your product to the UK, you have to refer to the Great Britain Vitamins and Minerals and Other Substances Register. I will put the link in the description of the episode. So the document will list the vitamins and minerals that can be added to food and their formulation. So for example, the document will show you that you can add indeed vitamin C, but it will show you which form of the vitamin C you can add to your product. So for example, you can add vitamin C under L-ascorbic acid, sodium L-ascorbate, calcium ascorbate. The document also shows you the restricted and the prohibited substances. So again, very important to double check first this document before adding anything to your product. Okay, so now you know the vitamins and the minerals you can add to your product. It is time to calculate the right amount of vitamins and minerals to support the claim. Let's start with nutrition claim, and especially the source of vitamin or minerals. To be able to use the nutrition claim source of vitamin or mineral, you need at least a significant amount of that vitamin or mineral. Now, I know what you're gonna say, I thought the same. What on earth is a significant amount? Okay, sit down. The significant amount have to refer to the daily reference intake, sometimes you see RI, also called nutrition reference value, and RVs. These ones are much more common nowadays for vitamins and minerals. And again, I will put the link in the description of the episode. Okay, for now you have different rules. If your product contains one single portion, to reach that significant amount, the vitamins or minerals must count for a minimum of 15% of the reference intake per portion. And this is for food and beverages. If your product contains multiple portions and you have a recommended size that is less than 100 grams or 100 milliliters, the vitamins or the minerals must count for a minimum of 15% of the reference intake per portion. And that again includes food and drinks. If a food product contains multiple portions with either a recommended serving size that is above 100 grams or 100 milliliters, or there is no serving size at all, the vitamins and the minerals must count for a minimum of 15% of the reference intake per 100 grams or per 100 milliliters. If a drink product contains multiple portions with either a recommended serving size above 100 milliliter or there is no serving size at all, the vitamins or the mineral must count for a minimum of 7.5% of the reference intake per 100 milliliter. Now, let's stay back. I'm going to give you an example, so hopefully it's going to be a little bit more clear. So for example, you want to claim source of vitamin. The daily reference intake from the legislation says that for vitamin C, the daily reference intake for an adult is 80 milligrams a day. So if you have a single can of drink of 250 milliliter, you will need 12 milligrams of vitamin C. If you have, for example, a big block of cheese of 350 grams, one of my favorite things, but your serving size is to 30 grams, then you will need 12 milligrams of vitamin C per 30 grams of serving. So you will need 140 milligrams in total. If you have a ready meal of 800 grams, you will need 12 milligrams of vitamin C per 100 grams. So you will need 96 milligrams of vitamin C in total. If you have 1 liter of flavored water, you will need 6 milligrams of vitamin C per 100 milliliter, so 60 milligrams in total. Let's now have a look at health claims. Most of the health claims actually refer to the nutrition claims. So if we take the example of vitamin C and we look at one of the health claims that you can do on your packaging, you can say, for example, vitamin C contributes to the normal function of the immune system. And for that, your product must contain at least a source of vitamin C. Okay? So then you can do exactly what we have done. So now you have the tool to calculate nutrition and health claim, but always double check the register for exceptions. So we have seen what type of vitamins and minerals you can add to your product, how much you need to be able to have a nutrition claim or a health claim on your packaging and your website. Now you need to add this information to your nutrition labeling. And this is a mandatory information, the same as adding the amount of protein, sugar, carbohydrate, fat, etc., etc. These need to appear as well as the percentage of the recommended intake. Then, to be sure, I always recommend to do a lab test, especially over shelf life, because you have, again, to guarantee to the consumers that the vitamins and minerals are indeed present in your product and it's just not theoretical. Okay, and again, some of the vitamins and minerals are very sensitive to light or temperature, so they will degrade very, very quickly. So you just have to be sure, if your shelf life is 6 months, you have to be sure that the exact amount of vitamins or minerals you indicate on your packaging is there through the entire shelf life of your product. And one of the things that is very common in the food industry is to do overages. Again, sometimes because the vitamins and minerals degrade, it's always a little bit better to have a little bit more quantity of that vitamin or mineral to start with, because that degrades, so you can guarantee at the end of the shelf life the exact amount that is on your packaging. But I already mentioned all of this in the previous episode, so if you want more details, go back to that episode, okay? Here we go. So if you want to add vitamins and minerals to your product or drink and be able to have either a nutrition claim or a health claim, I hope this was helpful. In the next episode, I will be talking about how much fat, sugar, and salt impact the flavor of the food and drink product and some mistakes to avoid. Thank you for listening. If you got value from this episode, follow the podcast and subscribe to my newsletter for more tips and knowledge about food and drink product development. And I will see you in the next episode. Bye!